Hi people, how are you? Yeah, people on YouTube and Facebook, I want both of you to see this. The whole millions of you to see this. See my hair in a disaster? Yes, I should have fixed the hair. Like all of you people fix your hair. But my point is that we can either think that this world is fucked, going down the drain, there's nothing we can do, or we can think this world is fucked, but we're really going to have to steer it in a better direction and not allow the weak people to ruin the party for everybody else. That's what I see and think. I really think we have to think the other way. We've got to turn this world around. That means that we have to put ourselves out there for the possibilities of the world going even worse than it is, and people like me getting assassinated in the future because of the openness of our hearts and minds for a better situation that doesn't involve ripping people off in an economic rape situation. And so I want to get everybody to talk more, you know. Now I know you're all scared, most of you are scared to open your mouths. God, was I scared to open my mouth as well when I was younger. I had no confidence at all. Now I realise that nobody's got confidence, and generally people are taking drugs to get the confidence. I'm not a drug taker myself, in the normal sense of taking pharmaceutical drugs and even illegal drugs. There's only one illegal drug that I take occasionally. Oh God, that little snippet will be taken and the FBI will get me on it and I'll be put in prison for the rest of my life. Probably, if the world continues to go the way it is going. But that's the risk I'm willing to take. Now, I want to talk about quickly, if I can get it. I have a message here from Anonymous Skeptic. I notice Anonymous Skeptic has actually got a lot of great things to say and great questions to ask. Anonymous Skeptic has asked this. I'm going to go from your message from the end to the start. And your last question was, who gives a fuck and why should you care if they do or not? Well, why should I care if they do or not? I don't know. Why should I? But I do care. That's the point. I do care. And, you know, I'm a sensitive person on a level, but I'm very level-headed. You won't get that on the screen. You'll just have to meet me for that point. You know, what's the point in me being publicly XXY and pitching it as normal or whatever is what your other question. What is my point? Well, my point would be, you know, to understand there's not just males and females, because there couldn't be just males and females. Look at the transsexuals. They feel that they're born in the wrong body. No, they're not born in the wrong body. They feel they're born in the wrong body. They're actually in a body. And they think the mind is not with the body. And I have to say that, you know, society just doesn't see it any other way. Just males and females. And if you're not happy being a male, then cut your dick off and be a female. That's what a lot of people would say. If you're not happy being a female, well, and you want to be a male, well then chop your breasts off, but you still won't have a dick. So, you know, it's on a certain level, it's actually nearly easier for a male to become a female rather than a female to become a male. But females think that they've got the facial hair then that they're a male. So all these things of like facial hair being male and you know, 3 holes, mouth, ass, and vagina being a woman, you know, and God. No, it's just, that's not the way I see it. And many people don't see it that way either, but not all the people speak out about it. My point here is that who gives a fuck and why should you care if they do or not? We should all give a fuck. You know, most of us care, but it's difficult to care in this day and age, because if you care, you're not going to get paid for it. Simple. You know, and if you care about somebody else, they're not necessarily going to care back for you, which is also a bit sick in society. Society is sick in general. So who gives a fuck? Well, I give a fuck. And many people give a fuck. And I do care whether you, and I'm a skeptic, give a fuck as well. And I know you do give a fuck the fact that you actually come in with questions and even, you know, statements and, oh, you're talking shit again, Gavin. Yeah, no problem, but that is giving a fuck. Okay, so I thank you for giving a fuck. And I'm a skeptic. Really do. I'm not being sarcastic in any way. For my video that I did called After a Gig with Makeup. It made up of part of something too, whatever it's called, yeah. Where I did my split thing down the middle, yeah. Female on this side, male on this side. Again, female, male, hello. Because I don't believe there are males and females in this world. There's only types of people who can be categorized easier if it's only a two-tiered sex gender system, which in my opinion is ridiculous, because transsexuals prove to the point that, you know, people are not just born male and female. As simple as that. Okay? So, and also the fact that I'm XXY, genetically different, brain structure different as well from XY and XX. Different story going on. Talk to XXYs, most of them in their right mind will tell you that. Even if they have to say, well, we're not intersex, we're just males, they'll probably say that, but they will say that they're definitely not your normal, typical male type. And the last point, you said, that was weird, it was an unusual thing to do. Why? Out of self-expression or something? Why are you so publicly XXY and pitching it as normal or whatever? What's the point? Who gives a fuck, and why should you care if they do or not? So, of course it was weird, strange, different, another thing. Something you haven't seen before. Absolutely, if you want to put weird on it, no problem. It was an unusual thing to do, unusual, not usual. No, it wasn't a usual thing to do, so yes, it was unusual. Yes, of course. Why? Okay, because I'm XXY, you know, I understand transsexuals, I understand XXYs wanting to call themselves males even though they're not, and yeah, blanket statement there, but they're not. XY is male and XXY is not. So, why do I do that? Well, I'd never really done it before. I will do it again. I think it was important to do. It made a huge statement. The members in my band, the females were dressed as males, the male was dressed as a female, you know, and I was dressed in the middle, half and half, technically speaking, in this world that only allows males and females. So, yeah, that's why I did it, to express myself, yes. Yes, it was self-expression, it was something more as well. It was educational, it was thought-provoking, and that's what I like to do. I like to provoke people into thinking for themselves about stuff that they generally don't think about, or else that they do think about it, but they don't publicly tell people that they're thinking about it, because it's a wishy-washy, weird kind of, again, weird area to go into, this stuff, you know, because it takes apart the whole Adam and Eve kind of vibe. It takes apart the scientific vibe as well. We're people, and I'm not a scientist, but I'm stating that as a fact. We're just people, we're individuals. Why am I so publicly XXY? Well, who else is going to be publicly XXY? I don't see too many XXYs screaming their heads off, in a polite manner, by the way, that they're XXY. Many people are XXY. Why aren't they telling people that they're XXY? It does matter, because we're different. And it kind of dilutes this idea that on one side there's males and this side there's females. It dilutes that so that we can all just basically be the way we want to be, and not be always referred to as being homosexual simply because we do not fit into the gender of what we were basically supposed to be born in. If you get that point, I hope you do. I really hope you got that. If you didn't get that, then I would expect another comment from you, and I'm a skeptic, to ask more questions, because I do like questions. I prefer questions to presumptions. Presume after you've questioned, though, no problem. And obviously do what you want. I'm not your ruler, you know, do what you like. Yeah. So I'm glad I checked that video. 9 minutes now. I hope I have enough space to do this. Yeah. And I'm pitching it as normal or whatever. Yes, because there's 1 in 500 to 1 in 1,000 guys that have XXY chromosomes. I'm not going to call it Klinefelter syndrome because I disagree with it. And what's the point? Oh, people awareness. You know, stop the war of the sexes. You know, get equality, like true equality. Allow transsexuals to live in a better world. And who gives a fuck, and why should you care if they do or not? Yeah, again, like, a lot of people give a fuck, but they're scared to tell people that they do give a fuck, you know, because it's scary business here, you know, the internet. The world is warped. People generally don't care. A lot of people in Ireland are on cocaine. Oh, full of themselves for the wrong reasons. So I'll leave it at that, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my videos, and I do hope that in the future that I will condense. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make another channel even and put the videos like this, edit them, and really get like maybe just 20 or 30 videos on the channel, so that people will get more from me instead of getting less from me because I've got too much. So less is more, isn't it? Okay, ciao people, ciao. No, I'm not putting any effects on this video, I don't think, but you never know.